you guys, it's Holly. Welcome to Living It Country. In today's video, we are in the tiny home and it has made some huge progress this week. Lots of little details have really come into play and my husband was able to dedicate this whole week to the tiny home and it looks absolutely beautiful. So in today's video, I'm gonna be sharing the installation of our beautiful shiplap ceiling. We use UFP Edge again for the ceiling and we use their Timeless collection in the Farmhouse white. I'm gonna share with you guys what that looks like. Here it is right here. And what I love about this is it's pre-painted, so we don't have to paint it, and it has a really beautiful, smooth finish to it. We actually used UFP Edge before underneath our front porch of the tiny home, so I will link that video down below if you guys want to check that out. It turned out absolutely phenomenal. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with today's video. Our tiny home has slowly but surely been making so much progress this week, with it being the year mark of starting this build. And this week we worked on some really fun things like finishing the measurements for our Roman shades, as well as finishing up the base trim, as well as doing the window trim and adding little details of character, like adding this beautiful beadboard to the whole space of this living room area. We added things like molding to make it pop even more, and we are just loving the way it looks. Here's a glimpse of our last project with UFP Edge, where we transformed the beautiful tiny home's porch, and this is with their native wood. So in today's video, we are going to be installing their wood from their Timeless collection. They actually have 5 different color options, and we went with the Farmhouse white, which I'm sure is not surprising to anybody that is a subscriber of ours. With these beautiful vaulted ceilings, we wanted to come up with an idea that made this space feel more warm and inviting. When it comes to vaulted ceilings, sometimes it can come off as cold and less welcoming, and that's why when you have tiny spaces with shorter ceilings, it just feels so cozy and quaint. But when you can live here full time, it can also just feel a little bit claustrophobic, which is how I felt when I was in a tiny home. I know a lot of people say they would utilize this space where it's vaulted for maybe extra storage. We are utilizing all different storage ideas in this tiny home, which we're going to be making a full video on. I'm really excited to share how we are going to be accomplishing that. If you look to the left, you can see Jason is creating a little spacing where he is not shiplapping that. We're actually going to be using scrap pieces of shiplap right there from pieces that are going on the other side of the ceiling. And that's because we're utilizing these 8-foot long length shiplap pieces, and then we're doing beams on each side. This took a lot of planning ahead of time and doing tons of different measuring to figure out how we can make this look beautiful and also not confusing to the eye. So we ultimately are doing 5 beams, and I can't wait to share with you guys what that looks like. We're going to be doing an updated DIY tutorial on how Jason does his beams. We've done a few in the past that were probably a little bit too confusing because it was the start to this YouTube channel, and so I can't wait to share with you guys that video. I don't know if you guys remember back last year when I shared a DIY of us shiplapping the ceiling of our entryway, where we plan on shiplapping the whole entire ceiling of our whole home. And we haven't made it that far yet. We've only made it to the entryway. It's a beautiful, natural looking shiplap. My question to you is, if you have watched that video, what do you like better? Do you like the natural wood shiplap, or do you like this beautiful white shiplap better? I would love to know your opinion because Jason and I, now that we have seen this white shiplap on this ceiling, now we are going back and forth on what we like better and if we want to rip down just a little bit of shiplap in our entryway and do the same exact in our house. I would love to know your guys' input in the comment section down below. I thought that this would be the perfect time to share with you some of my husband's go-to products and things that he swears by. One of them being his Milwaukee nail gun. He loves that thing, as well as his Milwaukee laser leveler. He is obsessed with that and has used it for so many projects. It has been worth the investment. Also, we have now invested in 3 scaffoldings. I believe that's how you say it. And those are the things that he is on right now to get him high up there. We have actually used a different one before and had a very terrible, actually serious issue. And so we wanted to invest in some really good ones so nobody got hurt. Another thing my husband's been loving is he has a pencil holder that clips onto his shirt, and he utilizes that and talks about it all the time. Now that the ceiling is completed with our UFP Edge shiplap, Jason has started on the beams, and I feel like this area won't look complete without the beams being on here, but I am just going to give you a slight sneak peek. Here is the beautiful pine wood that he used for the project. He's creating a 45-degree angle on a few of the sides, which, like I said, we'll share in an upcoming video. Then what he uses is painter's tape to kind of create the form while using also wood glue. And here he is staining it, and I'll share this in an upcoming video, but we are actually restaining the beams because they look very, very orange. It's so hard to find a stain that looks like what it is on the cans, and so we've had a little bit of trouble. Now you're gonna see with my fingers I'm pointing at where the wood beams are going to go so you guys can get a little bit of a vision of how that's going to look. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'm going to leave in the description box down below our playlist with our short formed content for the tiny home, as well as all of our long form content, so you guys can get hours of inspiration whether you're building a tiny home or just want to watch for fun. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you guys in our next video. Bye, friends.